in the UK needs to pay close attention to what's happening in America. Because the Reform Party are literally a copy and paste of Donald Trump. It has not even been a week and he's already fucking over his entire country. So what's he done so far that's so bad? Massive cuts to the federal workforce. He's made it legal for employers to discriminate regarding sex, religion and race. The only gender that we recognise The only gender that we recognise in America now is the gender at conception. So in other words, he's just made all American men female. I mean, if you want to go off chromosomes, maybe learn basic biology. America have left the World Health Organization up prescriptions and got rid of affordable healthcare, even for veterans. Came out the climate change flag, even though LA is literally on fire. Released a shitload of prisoners, some even serving a life sentence. 1,500 of the prisoners he's released tried overturning the vote 4 years ago by raiding the Capitol. Literally trying to get rid of democracy. He's done the biggest tax cut in history specifically to help the millionaires and billionaires. And he's raised taxes for the less fortunate and the middle class. 95% of Americans will now be paying more in tax. Vast amounts of cuts to education to the extent that schools are literally closing and parents are crying because they'll have to homeschool. Oh, and one of the things that he got loads of people to vote him for, bring the food prices down. He's now said he'd like to do that, but now they're up, it's really hard to get them down. So he's not doing it. He's clearly done really dodgy shit with misinformation regarding all web searches and social medias. Because he's all for the Constitution of America, even though the first constitution is literally freedom of speech. Now, Reformers, it's not your fault. You've been indoctrinated into what's called a cult. See, they play on your biggest fears and then throw them in your face all the time to make you even scareder and think that they are the only option. They pretend to be relatable chaps. Oh, he's just a normal guy who goes to the pub. When in reality, Nigel Farage has never struggled a day in his life and went to a private school. But there is so many of you Reformers who keep going, I want Donald Trump to be in charge of our country. Here's an idea. Instead of shouting down the street, Britain for the British, why don't you fuck off to America? So Britain can remain Britain and not become a second America. But I'm so bored of trying to educate you lot at this point, I've run out of packs of crayons. So watch and fucking learn how bad it would be for our country if a party like that got in. And to Americans, I'm so sorry that we have to use you as a political example of how to fuck up a country, but you shouldn't have voted him in. But my heart goes out to all the Americans who didn't vote him in, who have now got to put up with this shit because people were indoctrinated into a cult. And sorry, Reformers, I've also got to inform the Americans of something. Under international law, we have to accept you as an asylum seeker if you're being persecuted by your government. If you're being persecuted because you're transgender, because of your religion, race or gender, you all have a right here. Although UK has closed off all safe passages, so you will have to cross the channel, which is quite dangerous. Us lefties will see what we can do about that and get you a flight out of there.